Good morning everyone, my name is Dodds. Welcome to part 7 of episode 91 of Dodds Diaries. Today is Sunday the 25th of July, time's coming up to 5 to 9, and this morning for me, last full day here in London. This morning I'm just going to pop out of London again just one more time, but only for a few hours. Not going to the seaside this time like what I've done a few times this week. Going just down the Great Western Main Line to Reading. I've not been there since 2010 and the whole station has been completely rebuilt since then, so I'm going to go and have a look at that today, just this morning, and then about lunchtime I'm going to come back into London. Plan to go up to, this time going up to Abbey Road crossing, and I've just got to get Marylebone station ticked off. I was going to do it yesterday, but I decided to postpone it to today, and might finish the night along the South Bank or somewhere, maybe on the embankment. Well, it's been a long week, and this is the final full day, but still got a lot of fun to do today. A lot of stuff to do. Right, out I pop. Right, walking through London, well, in the west end of it, on a Sunday morning's a bit strange for me. Now, because both the Circle and Hammersmith and City lines are suspended all day again, I'll have to walk to Paddington. Just coming up to Paddington, and this hotel's the Royal Eagle Hotel. This is what I should have been in to begin with, but that's not going to reopen until the end of July. That's why I got moved to the Central Park. I would have liked this one because it's a bit nearer to Paddington Station as well, which we are just very near to now. So I'm going to jump on the 9:37 service. This goes to Carmarthen, Wales, so it goes to Cardiff and Swansea, then on to like Llanelli and Carmarthen. This train will split in two at
Cott
Swansea.
Parkway, Swindon, Bristol Parkway, Newport, Cardiff Central, Bridgend, or Talbot Parkway, Neath, and Swansea, where the train will divide, will terminate at Swansea. You are in the front portion.
So those trains are just like the Azumas on LNER, pretty much same class as the 800s, built by Hitachi.
You are in the front portion.
Royal Oak tube station over there.
Welcome aboard this Great Western Railway service to Swansea and Carmarthen. We'll be calling at Reading, Didcot Parkway, Swindon, Bristol Parkway, Newport, Cardiff Central, Bridgend, or Talbot
That's
Parkway,
the tube line on the right. That'll be the
and Swansea, where the train
district
will
line, I
divide.
think. And this is Westbourne Park.
The rear portion will terminate at Swansea. You are in the front.
Approximately 20 minutes time. Thank you.
Passing the Heathrow Express depot and the Great Western Railway depot for the IET's London based. Over there you've also got the central line over there. And we just passed Ealing Broadway. And that's the line to Heathrow Airport that's just branched off. Past Slough just now. That's where you can change for, I believe, Windsor.
services to Bournemouth, Gatwick Airport, Newbury, and Oxford. Please change here. Please take all your belongings with you.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform, and take care when stepping down from the train.
Right, 10:15, and here I am in Reading in Berkshire. Have a look at this. The last time I was here was in 2010, and look at Reading Station now. It looks absolutely impressive indeed. It had a huge rebuild over them few years, and by 2014 it was all completed to what it looks now, and it looks an absolute stunner. So train services, we're on the Great Western Main Line, so trains go to like Bristol, Plymouth, Cheltenham, Gloucester, Penzance, Newport, Cardiff and Swansea. We've got cross-country services to Southampton, Bournemouth, and then back up to Oxford and towards Birmingham and Manchester. The ones from Newcastle would normally come down here as well, but they haven't been doing that during the COVID pandemic, during the timetable change. We've got South Western Railway Services, just the door to Basingstoke and Salisbury as well. South Western Railway Third Rail down that way. I believe it. I think they go to like Ascot as well. You can also go to Gatwick Airport from here, and then of course the local First Great Western Railway Services stop at all the local stations. I'm just going to do a couple of hours here. I haven't actually asked, but I think I should be alright here. A couple of hours here, and then I will actually head back to London.
Your Transport for London travel information. Services are part suspended on the District and Piccadilly lines. There are flight services on Churchill, Hamilton,
This station is officially known as Reading General. The other station, which is as if you were heading to like Basingstoke, is called Reading West. So down there we've got some 387s just down there. The Great Western Railway line is electrified from Paddington to as far as Cardiff Central. So in Bristol it goes through Bristol Parkway, then through Newport and Cardiff. Them Class 1 65 and 166s, they have Perkins engines in them, which is the same as a number of Class 158s and the Class 159s.
The next train to arrive on platform 10 will be the 10:29 Tfl Rail Service to London Paddington.
Now, as well as all the other services I mentioned, you also get Tfl Rail Services that head into London. Eventually, once Crossrail is completed, you'll be able to go from here to the east end of London via what will be called the Elizabeth line, Crossrail. It'll go through like Tottenham Court Road and Liverpool Street and that, I think. It's basically going to be similar to the RER system in Paris, which I was on in 2019. So this cross-country voyage is going to Manchester Piccadilly. Now, back in the days of Virgin Cross Country, up to about 2003, these voyages, and well, before that, Class 47 and Mark IIs, some would actually continue on to London Paddington station by stopping at Slough as well. Also used to be trains, I think there's still, I don't know if there's still a cross country that goes to Guildford nowadays, but there used to be a few trains that would go to Brighton via Guildford. That Class 800's got different fronts, the front and the back. It's actually got a face mask over it. They put them on when the face mask on public transport in England rule came in June of 2020. Right, back to London I go.
I think what we might have overheard the Henry talking about today. Okay. That's how we're going to start. Have you been sitting here this whole time? Yeah. That's not been the best behaviour. Yeah. That's what they're mentioning. No, I met. That was really quick. This right. It's on the grounds that it is only a matter of time. This is organised at least medical use and then probably eventually for recreational use. Yeah. And I think it sits there. I think it has been. Yeah, we see some of those. So this was years ago at the time it was like basically tools from like the NHS and like a couple of departments about what we could be
Right, 12:51, I'm back in London. I am managed to squeeze in one more session at Isambard Kingdom Brunel's magnificent Paddington Station. At this station you get a wristband instead of a visitor's badge. So 802 106 over there, Tfl Rail trains over there. This is where you get Heathrow Express services. Now while I'm here there'll be no Circle or Hammersmith City Line trains, so that tube platform over there will be deserted.
Please take care of your personal belongings as opportunities to note and grade.
Their luggage and personal belongings at all times. Unattended luggage can cause unnecessary
Heathrow Express used Class 387s. Beforehand they were using Class 332s, just similar to the 333s used by Northern in West Yorkshire.
Circle at Hammersmith and City Line is suspended, and the District Line is not suspended. This is due to a lack of control room staff.
Okay, I'm going to go and sign out. That's me done with Paddington Station now. It's been absolutely fantastic. Just got Marylebone Station to do, which hopefully I can do. I'm going to go and catch the Bakerloo line over to there now. Going to go and sign out. Yep, all the other terminals have been absolutely fantastic this week. Now, onwards I go. It's 2:10 and finally here I am at my last London terminal of the week, Marylebone. I've been here since 2010. It's the terminus of the Chiltern main line, just Chiltern Railway services from High Wycombe, Princess Risborough, like Bicester, across Banbury, Leamington Spa, Birmingham Moor Street and Birmingham Snow Hill. We have also in the station at the moment 33425 rate of Mark 1s, Mark 2s I think. They're still filming that TV show I mentioned yesterday, but it's not as busy this time. At least thankfully the supervisor is alright letting us on. Come on to platform 1 and 2. And unfortunately, it's just started raining quite heavily. It's been dry all week. Typical. So I'm going to do about 40 minutes here. I'm going to be sheltered for a while. To finish a lovely holiday. It is lashing down now, and also we've got some thunderstorms. I'm not surprised with all the hot weather we've been having this week. It's chipping it down, raining like cats and dogs. is just getting even heavier and heavier. But I think we can already do with a shower after the hot weather this week. I also noticed one thing with this station. Yep, it's got no electrified wires. It's the only terminal in London that is not actually electrified, whether it's overhead or third rail. Right, I'm going to finish it in here. As you see, we do have a thunderstorm, some loud bangs and lightning. What I'm going to do is walk a bit of street, go back down to the central. I'm actually going to go back to my hotel for a bit. May as well go and do a bit of packing up, rest, and then I'll come back out later on. Hopefully the rain will pass over. Meantime, that's all my London terminals now done for the week, and staff were once again brilliant here at Marylebone. Right, onwards I go. So, despite the rain, I've come up to Abbey Road. And this is the famous Abbey Road zebra crossing. Famous, why? Because, well, Abbey Road is where the Beatles recorded most of their songs. Abbey Road Studios is just over here. As you can see, we've got there's a wall where everyone's been writing their tributes to the Beatles on here. Songs like We Can Work It Out, Come Together, All You Need Is Love, of course. Some have been writing football tributes on here as well, yeah. Not as busy as normal. Always get tourists around here. But that zebra crossing over there was famous for featuring in the cover of the album Abbey Road, where it has the four Beatles walking across and posing in the middle of the zebra crossing. One of the most famous album covers in the world. Hey, I would love to have been here in the 60s. It wasn't just the Beatles that recorded many songs here, many other bands as well. Pink Floyd has done a lot of them. and quite a lot of others as well have recorded here. I'm going to spend some time up here before I head back. I'm going to head back to my hotel for a bit. Right, I've come back to my hotel in Bayswater. You can hear the thunderstorm out there. That's a lot of it's happening right across London and a lot off the south. It was just absolute wet. It is absolute wet out there. At the same time, coming back from Abbey Road, got to St John's Wood tube station. Unfortunately, I met with a lot of cricket fans who had just come out of Lord's cricket ground. I think the rain had crawled off the cricket for the day. And then there are currently, as I speak, at the time of filming this, delays on the central line because of problems with the signals and flooding in places. Anyway, coming back to the hotel a bit early, well, now, means I'm going to do some packing up and get my bags all sorted and that. That'll save me time in the morning and hopefully gives me a chance, hopefully this rain will pass over for a bit. Right, it's 6:20 out at all for me last evening in London. Got a little break in the weather. There is still some spit, but it has eased. Unfortunately, Canary Wharf is off the cards for this year's visit. I could, of course, just go to Bond Street and get the Jubilee line, but just with the time and that, and also the weather, I wouldn't be able to get good shots. Oh well. And for my last meal of the holiday, I've come to Victoria, Wetherspoons in Victoria Station. And I'll hopefully go down on the platforms after I've finished. This is a lovely Wetherspoons this. You get a view of the trains, southeastern trains on this side, and you can view the other concourse on the other side. It's lovely that. And so I've decided to kill time by signing in once again at Victoria Station. I'm going to do about an hour here.
Or text the British Transport
Network Rail have been absolutely fantastic with me all week. We've got two Class 375s southeastern in the platforms. This will give us a chance to see what one of the busiest stations in London is like on a Sunday evening.
The next train to depart on platform 2 will be the 2000 Southeastern service to Ramsgate. Calling it.
service to West Croydon via Norwood. Will passengers intending to travel on this service please join the train now as it is ready to leave? Platform 9 for the
Train at platform 2 is the 2000 Southeastern service to
West Croydon via Norbury. Will passengers intending to travel on this service please join the train now as it is ready to leave? Platform 9 for the 2030 Southern service to West Croydon via
pretty much out of all the trains that go out of Victoria now, them 455s by Southern are, I think, they'll be the oldest. They'll go back, I think they go back to the 1970s.
National Rail Services and Victoria Coach Station. This is a Victoria Line train to Walthamstow Central.
Mind the gap, please.
This station has no interchange access to the Circle and District lines. Circle and Hammersmith City Line are suspended. London Overground is part suspended.
So folks, my final time, I've come to Westminster, come to the River Thames to take one final look at Big Ben and the Houses of Parliament, and that's Lambeth Bridge down there, County Hall. That is stunning, lit up in the rainbow colours. Obviously, since the pandemic started, you're seeing lots of rainbows and a lot of landmarks and everything lit up in rainbow colours. The London Eye, I had an absolute amazing time on that on Tuesday. It was a red hot day. I went on that and went on the cruise. I think I'm probably going to have a walk down along the South Bank again, probably towards Charing Cross. Tube finishes earlier tonight, finishes on a Sunday about 11:30, so I'll be back on the tube earlier. Golden Jubilee Bridges A. London is just absolute stunning, lit up at night time. There's Charing Cross to the left. I'm going to miss all this. London, you've been absolute amazing. I've had an absolutely fabulous week indeed. Now I'm going to enjoy, just relax now for the rest of the evening. I know it is Sunday night, but one thing I have noticed, a lot of tourist places, a lot of hot spots around here, they're being much more quieter than usual, probably due to the pandemic. Because obviously London gets millions of international tourists every year in normal times, but obviously I think there's been hardly any while I've been down here. But I've still seen London absolutely full of life, the nightlife, everything. This city has been an absolute amazing to me this week. So I'm going to have a walk along the South Bank and then I'll head towards Waterloo Station to get the Jubilee line up to Bond Street from there. As you can see, a lot of footpaths and roadways have been flooded out today. In fact, on this today as I speak, there's been a lot of flash flooding across London. Seeing a photo, apparently Stratford Station was totally flooded out today. And also right across the south and the southeast there's been a lot of flash flooding in places. Now the blue skies are starting to appear. Clouds are breaking up a bit, but I think it might rain again a bit later. Hey, this is just a stunning view, this. Lovely scene, Westminster Bridge, lit up and changing colours.
Yeah, no, sometimes I
And so this is my goodbye from me to the Thames. It's goodbye from me and it's goodbye from them. I hope to see you another year, London. You've been absolutely amazing this week. So it's good night and goodbye, as I now head to Waterloo Station to jump on the Jubilee line. So I need to go this way. Just near Waterloo now, and this bridge, this carries the South-Eastern Main Line out of Charing Cross, and just around the corner is Waterloo East Station. Some massive puddles around here from the heavy rainfalls that have happened today. Past Sutton Walk.
The train now approaching the station.
Okay, it's 20 to midnight. I'm back in my hotel room for one more night. I'm back in earlier than what I've been this week. It's because on a Sunday night, the last tube trains are generally between 11:30 and midnight. On a Sunday night, that's like an hour earlier than the rest of the week. So my last day around London has been another great one. Well, okay. The weather, unfortunately, hasn't been the best. It's been dry and sunny all week. Got cloudy yesterday, and today thunderstorms and rain came. So this morning I went to Reading. I hadn't been to Reading since 2010, so it was my first visit since the station rebuild, and I'm quite impressed with Reading. That's another station I would recommend. So like the 387s go through that Great Western Railway operate. Got a taste of home by seeing the cross-country voyages. Yeah, Reading station is an impressive looking one. I didn't go in the town centre, I didn't have time. Came back to London, did an extra session at Paddington, no problems. And then finished off at Marylebone station, which finally I did. No problems. There was a small film crew there, but the letters signed in. Just went to the gate line and I got the visitor badge. I actually got there was a little charter train that was being used for that same TV series that was getting filmed yesterday. It had a I can't remember what it had on the front, but it was a rate of Mark 1s. I think it was a 47 about. I can check on my phone and I can see what train it was that was on it. So on the rear it was 47772, and on the front it was 33025 West Coast Railway. So that was a nice little, that was an interesting feature. So all the Chiltern trains. It's the only station, the only terminal in London where it's not actually electrified. And I went up to Abbey Road, wanted to see the famous Abbey Road zebra crossing, which was famous for the Beatles. It was absolute lashing it down with rain. So I walked back to St John's Wood Station, and unfortunately I clashed with all the cricket fans who came out of Lord's Cricket Ground. I would assume the cricket had been called off for the day due to the bad weather. And then getting back from Bond Street to here, at that particular moment there were severe delays on the Central Line. There's been a lot of today, a lot of flooding around London, including some nasty flooding of Stratford, which I've seen the pictures of today. That's the day of filming this. Came back out. Now I was going to go to Canary Wharf. Unfortunately, with time getting on, because I spent time in here packing and letting the rain pass by, it was a bit too late to go to Canary Wharf. So unfortunately, on this occasion, again, I haven't been able to go and do the Docklands Light Railway and go to Canary Wharf. I was hoping to do so, but my hands have been tied literally all week. I've been way too busy with other things. So I went to Wetherspoons Victoria and did an extra session at Victoria Station, which I thought was good. Southern still have the Class 455s around. They're pretty much the oldest in the fleet now. They've been like since the 70s, I think. And then one more look at Westminster and the Southband, but I had to go via Green Park because the District and Circle lines on the Victoria Tube Station were shut because they got flooded. I am going to miss London, but tomorrow is when I go home. I got to check out here before 10 o'clock in the morning, so it means I get a little longer sleep. And then tomorrow I'm in the 12:30 from King's Cross back up to Durham, back to the northeast. Going earlier than what I normally would, but I'm ready to come home now. Normally after a week away on holiday, I usually am ready to go home. I might be able to do one more spotting session at King's Cross tomorrow morning though. I'll see how time goes on. I'll be back in Durham about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then straight home, and then by the time I finish all this, I'll have about nearly 18 hours of footage to edit. It's going to be a hell of a lot. Well, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next bit. Good night.